A disturbing list has been found buried deep inside one of America's most trusted youth organizations. Now, the 10 News I-team has uncovered what critics of the Boy Scouts of America call the perversion files.
This is the first time a media organization has gained access to the San Diego files. Investigative reporter Mitch Blocker found, despite knowing about pedophiles within the organization, for years, Boy Scouts of America allowed them to continue to lead young boys.
Behind the tradition of trust and beyond the legacy of building leaders, the Boy Scouts of America has kept a secret.
He molested me every week of every month.
Matt Stewart was molested by his scout leader from the time he was 7 until he turned 18.
I'll never forget his bright lights shining from his car through the window, and he would knock on the door. He would molest me in the basement of my parents' house with my parents upstairs.
Grown now, he has never forgotten what happened to him as a young scout.
He told me that he would kill my family.
Stewart never said a word. He says neither did the Boy Scouts of America, who knew about the scout leader Bruce Phelps, who had admitted himself that he had a history of molesting boys.
You are talking about a well-respected national organization with a mission to help young boys. You are essentially accusing them of aiding and abetting child molesters.
Yes, and it's well documented.
Stewart told us it wasn't until he was living in San Diego that he finally decided to tell someone about the abuse he suffered at the hands of his Seattle scout leader. He chose a lawyer named Tim Kosnoff.
Scandal can hurt a lot of organizations, but a scandal of this sort, because it is a youth organization, could be devastating to the Boy Scouts of America.
Both Stewart and Kosnoff knew the statute of limitations had expired on any potential molestation claim.
What happened to Bruce Phelps?
Nothing.
But it wasn't too late to hold the Boy Scouts of America responsible. Kosnoff successfully sued and forced the Scouts to reveal a portion of its secret files, files identifying alleged pedophiles who were eventually banned from scouting. They include cases across America dating back to 1947, one in Brooklyn, New York, where a scout was molested and killed, another in Greenville, South Carolina, where an exiled scout leader was successful 6 times in reapplying in other states.
In almost all these cases, there were adults that either knew or suspected that something was wrong, but they somehow felt it wasn't their responsibility to act upon it.
The Scout secret list spanned the country, including 36 incidents here in San Diego County, one at the Lost Valley Scout Camp just east of Escondido. It was here the man they now call the poster child for pedophilia in scouting once volunteered. The man was Richard Turley, a Canadian-born scout leader who slipped through the cracks time and time again. He admitted to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation that he first molested a boy in British Columbia. Then in 1975, he made headlines when he stole a plane in Fallbrook and kidnapped an 11-year-old scout. He was arrested and the boy was returned safely, but Turley spent the next year and a half at Patton State Mental Hospital, where the state of California classified him as a mentally disordered sex offender. Yet somehow Turley resurfaced in scouting in San Diego County, where he volunteered at the Lost Valley Scout Camp. The Boy Scouts records say in 1979, 3 boys claimed there had been molestation, but their parents agreed not to press charges if Turley would leave scouting. The Boy Scouts of America put Richard Turley on its ineligible volunteer list, but when Turley returned to his native Canada, he was again able to enter scouting and again able to find new victims.
It's one of the oldest youth organizations in North America.
Last October, the Los Angeles Times and the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's investigation into Canadian scouting focused on the Turley case and eventually forced Scouts Canada to deal with its own secrets. In a letter to the Canadian broadcasters, we found this revealing document. The Canadian Scouts denied it kept secret files, but it outed its American counterpart, writing, "Unlike Boy Scouts of America, Scouts Canada has no history of keeping so-called secret lists."
I think they're absolutely petrified that the child sexual abuse scandal could overcome the Boy Scouts of America.
The Boy Scouts of America now admits it kept a secret list, calling it an ineligible volunteer list. The organization would not agree to an on-camera interview to talk about it, though.
The Scout spokesman did write, "Youth protection is of paramount importance to the Boy Scouts of America, and even one incident of abuse is too many. We are saddened by any incident of abuse and extend our sympathies to the victims." We asked very direct questions. Their response seems to be, "We're not doing anything wrong, and here's why."
Yeah, it's the same response from the Catholic Church. They're not living up to their own oath and creed. This is not just about a few bad apples.
Now, Stewart says the man who molested him, Bruce Phelps, still lives in Seattle. His file was one of nearly 5,000 we reviewed, detailing alleged abuse dating all the way back to 1946.
Nearly 5,000 reviewed. Does that mean there could be more than 5,000 files?
Yeah, we don't know. We were only able to report on what we were able to review. Keep in mind, the Boy Scouts of America, hundreds of thousands of volunteers throughout the years, many of them, most of them doing good work. The real question at the heart of this is why the Boy Scouts of America did not tell the authorities about these few files, just the ones that we were able to look at.
Wow. I'm sure there was going to be more to this. Thanks so much, Mitch.
All right, Mitch. Thank you so much.